Oh yeah, back to Starship, Stargate. I got some seeds. I need to plant them. So we have lemongrass here. I probably put them to the borderline because if I put them in between, I don't know if it's real grass or not real grass, and I'm gonna try to make this bed more grass-free. And then over here, there is basil, organic basil, sweet. There is just basil, cinnamon, heirloom, so I'm gonna put them in two different areas. I know, they look amazing. And then over here there are microgreens. Microgreens will also come out, but I will not able to tell the difference. Like these might be the same thing, like this. Yeah. When the food is getting actually, when we're making something out of the food in our small intestine, then by that time the food needs to be alkalized and energized, all that good stuff, because that's where the blood is getting produced, in the small intestine. Everybody knows this one. This is the cauliflower. Yeah, so if you eat lots of microgreens, it's gonna make your intestine very healthy. You probably put this in a pot over here. Okay, another cauliflower. There are two of you, that's great. It's very good for brain health. Where is the light? There is the light. Oh, lots of light. Lots of light. And then those stuff is gonna get spread out. Those things. They're already alive seeds. They are alive by now probably. Fertilize a little bit. Okay, these are the onions. Lots of onions, because onions they dwell very well over here. As long as they don't bother each other. They dwell very well. The other onions, red onions, everybody loves red onions. And then here come the flowers. I decided to put flowers on the top here. It looks like a trumpet. Lily the color lily. Does it mean call someone who is Lily? Hey Lily, how are you? Actually, there is someone who lives in this community, in our community. Her name is Lily. Lavender, we got the lavender. Maybe her name is Lavender on the picture. And then there is Lily, more Lily. I don't know how these lilies will get along with those lilies. What do you think? Same family, get along? Maybe with some more lavender in between, or with it. I need lots of advisors myself, you see. There's a Starship. On the Starship, what is actually always legal, therefore it will not cause harm, is to cycle life force energy back peacefully. And I think this is as peaceful as it gets for that purpose, by planting and consuming plants. But of course, we need vitamins. Normally everything is in the plants. Vitamins, minerals, everything should be in there, as long as it's a suitable one. according to the conditions of individuals. Okay, so back to the Starship, a little bit differently. In Mexico, besides the pyramid with the cancer patient and the description of different types of cancerations, you had different places on the biological system, and also they described exactly the effects, the biological radioactive effect by pollution, like a polluted radioactive effect, what really cause through individuals, like certain type of parasites, viruses, bacteria, certain type of bugs, worms, really could be any animals in a hybrid way, because if we partially be like if it's a human, then a human who is hosting it. Because after a certain degree of being embedded in an environment where it could grow, most of the folks, large intestine is very gross. It's just like, if you would compare that to one of the parts of the universe, you would say that's definitely a part you don't want to go to. Especially if, depending on, well, all the animals we turn to apparently viruses too. So imagine the virus type of, let's say, a chicken, what somebody consumed, the hybrid virus nature type in humans. And that's what's happening when someone consumes chicken. You would say reptilianoid, because it's not really humanoid, not really reptilian, but it still looks like a reptilian. That's what's in by quality of nature. They also come in different sizes. And of course, it affects the human neurological system, the human psychological system, the human energetic system, everything. In a way, it did, in the same style, by the hybrid nature style. Why do you think this environment looks like a hybrid nature environment? Feels like it too. And what do you think will actually make it more humane? Make it actually human, in a way. What do you think will do that? Keep on consuming animals, keep on getting animal spirit in you, and it's, it's just as weird as it sounds like. It's not even you who's doing it. But since nobody taught that to you at school or at home, it's very easy to become a victim of any criminal offenses. And this intergalactic neighborhood filled with criminal activities, which means they kill what is human nature. They take it. They destroy it. They convert it to the opposite. It's filled with it. So I don't think we do too bad, but of course, after having some sort of an understanding about what's going on, which is obvious, can you imagine the hybrid versions of the pig or the beef? What's nature, what's inside of humans? They all become energized, no matter how much you bleed it out. And one of my dreams is to actually have. Actually, there is already a museum somewhere where they show organs. They're just huge, like you can walk through them. So the veins, the arteries, the guts, all the intestines, the brain, inside the brain. It's pretty incredible. Now, imagine education. No places like that. Like that's how you would learn. Actually, imagine that. Everything around you is like a human organ, and then once you learn about human nature physiologically, of course, or in the time being, that's even better if you have capacity for it and learn about it energetically or psychologically too, or do it before and after. So that's the physical. Those are the physiological aspects in those museums or educational centers. But I find it the most effective, one of the most effective anyhow, for this civilization we are living in. It's a huge step forward when it comes to education, like educating styles. How will we actually pass on the intelligence, what kept us alive, or at least everything else also what is supporting it. And then, if you need to mention what isn't, of course, in the time being, that's totally normal. And if you need to do it in a way only hybrids can understand it, or animals, that's totally okay too. That's right. Humans have the right to sustain human energy. And sometimes to get an understanding, you need to speak in a way, you need to communicate in a way. Everything else around you, what is not human natured or human nature friendly, 100%ly. But right now I'm being too kind. Then, in order to get a mutual satisfaction in this universal world today, until there are only human nature friendly and human natured beings are with us in every ways, on the inside as well as outside of us, until then we will need to speak. We will need to think, be able to think and speak and or communicate in a way the beasts are doing. And I'm still being very kind. Just look around, compare everything to human nature or the third international human rights law or the 30 universal human rights law. Or the Canadian human rights law. Now I'm in Canada. In a way, in the universe, but between the universe and all that is whatnot, in Canada. But European human rights are all the same. All the human rights are all the same. European. I'm a European as well. So now, besides the bad pyramid or the bad things in good and bad pyramids or good and bad pyramids or bad and good pyramids, because it's not the same. Good and bad or bad and good doesn't mean the same. You will see it when in a way things are actually participating in this stream of life, energy force, what keeps everything alive. So what I'm trying to say is in the Aztecs in Mexico, they got a pyramid. Oh, a pyramid, not just one, there are many of them, but the one I actually saw pictures and read about and studied about and researched about. This one is only supporting life. At the front entrance there are curvings of the 5 main elements with synchronity, 4 plus 1 with synchronity becoming 5, everything explained right at the front, right at the front, what is that, entrance. Inside. Where is the entrance? At the front. Where is the front? By the entrance. Okay, so I gotta get back to this business. Now, in there, that's all you find. From resurrection techniques to regeneration techniques to shift dimensionally kind of techniques, like human intelligence are probably on the highest level, but of course you find informations like that in their own ways everywhere. Again, they are really spread around the world from the previous civilizations for us. The ones which were infected, of course, or infections existed through them, of course, they left that over here too. They left that for us as well. And the only two things what I can say is a good thing about it. One is the bug nature always does the same thing, even if it's existing or even if it isn't with us. And the other one is that there must be a reason in this part of the Milky Way galaxy, with this solar system. There might be a reason why they were. I'm pretty sure something assured them that, hey, we gotta do this, guys, otherwise things will go worse rather than better. That's my That's what I'm hoping for. That's my best hopes are at. But of course, it's been 12,600 years since heaven does not really ever existed in civilizations on the surface. What we actually know of, only heaven without being ending, so on, which of course didn't happen. They transformed. They just moved, moved away. They took their civilizations with them somewhere else. But of course, viruses will always catch up to the light if they have the opportunity to do so, as long as they are existing, or as long as they have the opportunity to do so. They feel it, they feed on it. That's in their very nature. Everybody knows about the predator nature. What is that like? They sensing it. All the carnivores, all the animals, because the bloods are acidic, there are the vital fuels, and it's not their fault. There is a poison, a pollution, which caused that for them to become like that, and then also caused that for them to remain that way, unless something somehow will change. Life energies get transformed from human to animals all the time. In the worst cases, all of it. Of course. As is. There are vicious virus natures through beings and things you would never tell. That that there is infection is happening to them. So let's get back to the bright side. And then I'm gonna start working on the garden because I really not into showing off myself. I can show you exactly how I look like, but I want to avoid any distractions. So I got this protection. I got this protection. It's much easier to remember what I about to say, share with everyone. I'm not shy, so it is the sun. No, I feel much better like that. I look into it. Okay, so here it is. That's how I look like right now. I got slippers. Of course, they also say kawaii. We got the Hawaiian pencil. We got some nice vibes going on around here. Whatever it takes. We are doing it when we're doing it. We are having it. As much as it's possible, as long as it is possible, however it is possible, hopefully with good creative human right thinking abilities. Look, the information is existing. Everything is super obvious. You go into a beautiful church, you got tons of pointy towers. What do you think, what kind of quality by nature do you think will it project? There's a reason why around those areas, we can talk about any other holy places really. There's a reason why they call it holy. Could be a beautiful synagogue, a church, these are my, the cathedral. Really, but there are of course with different purposes. There are the holy places with domes or with triangle shapes. They have certain different purposes by the design of the projective element. In a way, if you really look at from above, like that. So if you got a dome, then it's all about preserving the Holy Spirit inside, mostly. But of course, the dome also has an aura, also has a so some sort of radiation. And you project in a different way. When it's pointy or when it's rounded, it's sort of different. I think bending light, bending energy, that's what it comes down to. Just like the way you look up to the sky, even if there is an optical illusion, it looks like the sky is curving. I don't know which way it's easy to see that, but you can pretty much look up in the sky almost everywhere. So, right? And the pointy ones I already mentioned to you about, they are like pencil or pen tips. They're literally making their remarks electromagnetically to be manifested physiologically and psychologically to the ether, to all the living beings. Exactly what they are. That's what they're going to manifest, create. They are creating realities as we speak. That's why, as if you look around in the past, almost 12.6 thousand years or 12.6 thousand years ago, nothing really happened. Nothing really changed. Styles are different, but by quality of nature, if you look around. And I think I have more people and more beings who want to change that, to make it better, rather than those who don't want to. I believe every living being is a loving being. Every living being meant to live their life, then to just by living their lives they are already sharing the love what they have, what they got, because the energy of life is love, and they are love. They have, certain different spiritual qualities, but that's life, obviously. And now, as long as they are respected, of course, it's much better to get along with them. As long as they are understood. So there are 20 times 20 billion times 20 billion animals on the outside only, around us, existing non-stop, from one moment to another, plus the ones that are inside, the humans or other animals. Those are the hybrids. And then if you look at really the varieties, they are certainly just like us individuals. So the variety will be the same by personalities. Of course, probably plants do the same thing, or minerals. Everything has energy in them and certain type of nature with it. Okay, all the best for everyone. I don't think there's anything else I can say about the Starship. I pretty much covered everything. By good creative thinking abilities, there is always a way to improve the quality of life by improving what we have written in the stars, in the skies, energetically. There are different types of energies in this electromagnetic field. Static energy is huge, everybody knows that. There are different types of energies, and they are just, right now I'm just thinking about, of course, only energy. So, and only energies, that means they are only good, they are good, they are good. Yeah, that's where it begins. Everything begins in the energies over here in the ether that goes through us, with us. The vibration, the frequency, the style of nature. That's the projective element, like I mentioned. I'm just summarizing what actually happened in these 3 videos. It is possible to build immunity against the bad things. Many people call them curses. It is possible, but look at history, look at the results, look at the successes, and now compare those with actual human nature, which is free, open, respectful, kind, honest. Sustaining human nature is always good, even when it comes to handling things that are not good. He learns about them, sees there is life, sees there is love, and introduces that love to that being, so that being could be there where there is love for that being. In a way, exactly the being meant to have love. It could be any being. And of course, I would start with humans first, if you're asking me. And I'm not being biased about it at all, or selfish. We need at least this much dedication to humankind in order to get started, to live the life we deserve, to live the life we meant to. I love you. God bless everyone. That's almost like baby blue. Baby blue, beautiful. Oh, the eagle. Hi, eagle.